All right, we're back. Before the break, Mandy, we mentioned that you are now working out of LA.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose LA instead of, say, New York or Miami?
Each city has its own market, and LA is the right market for a glamour model.
I gotcha. Who have you worked for in LA?
I've worked for a lot of companies, probably the most famous one being Playboy.
Really? Were you a centerfold?
I was not a centerfold. I've done a lot of work for Playboy, mostly personal appearances, and also I was a host for a show that they had on TV.
Okay. Have you partied at the mansion?
Yeah, I've partied at the mansion many times, and I know you're going to ask. Yes, I've met Hef.
Hef. Gotta love Hef. How's he doing these days?
Well, he's an 80-year-old man, so he's doing about that good.
He's not like he is on TV. He's not jumping around chasing girls.
Not at all. I don't know what they give him to get him in that shape for TV, but in real life, he's just an 80-year-old man being escorted around, and he doesn't last long at the parties either. He's usually there for like 20 minutes tops, and then he goes to bed.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the parties. Are they wild and crazy? Is there orgies all over the place?
It's not what it was in the 70s, but there are still some things going on. They have some private rooms for whatever scandalous activities, and there's always the grotto.
The grotto. The grotto.
I can see the wheels turning. I know where you're going with this, and let me tell you, the grotto is not what you think it is. It is really, really gross in there.
Really?
Yeah, you step in and you look down at the water and you start thinking about all the bodily fluids that, have been in that water and the chemicals that, can't handle the bodily fluids that have been in that water. And I would not stick my toe in that water.
You're destroying my fantasy right now.
I'm sorry. I speak the truth.
Let's go here. Have you ever accidentally walked in on two people going at it at one of the parties?
Nobody there is really concerned about being caught, so it doesn't really feel like you're accidentally walking in on anything. You're just like, oh, all right, you're using this space. I'll move on.
All right, so no one gets embarrassed by that.
No.
Have there been any weird or negative experience? What's been the low point?
Oh, man, I remember this one party. Santa Claus was there and he offered me cocaine. Definitely not a good experience.
Oh, yeah, that would be an odd image, so I'm sorry to hear that. But let's talk about working for Playboy. Is Playboy a good company to work for?
Playboy is an awesome company to work for. I was a host for their show Foursome on Playboy TV, and it was an amazing experience.
Foursome, is that what it sounds like?
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's basically a reality show, and they take two guys and two girls. They throw them into this, Hollywood Hills mansion. And basically my job as the host is just to make something interesting happen.
Make something interesting. Yeah, I know what's interesting. Give me an example. What do you do in an episode to get people in the mood?
Okay, so one episode, they kind of prep them for me. They make sure they have some alcohol in their system. They come back to the mansion, and then I have a party waiting for them. So one episode, we had set up this party in the basement, and we had a stripper pole.
Really?
Yeah, and we had some strippers there showing the girls on the show how to give a lap dance, how to work the stripper pole, and it kind of just went from there.
Really? Wow. So naked women, booze. What was your success rate? Did that get the couples in the mood and ready to go?
The success rate is about half and half. One couple, they were ready to go. They wound up in the shower. They totally hooked up. The other couple, on the other hand, they went upstairs and made toast on the porch. I mean that. They made toast. That's it.
Everyone has their own erotic fantasy. That's a new one for me. Well, okay, all right. Earlier you said Playboy's a great company to work for. Let's talk about the basic premise of Playboy. Naked girls in a magazine and guys looking at them. Is this a good thing? Is this a celebration of female beauty, as I said earlier?
Oh, and I think you might be stretching it when you say celebration of female beauty. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. We all know what's going on. There are definitely some guys out there touching themselves to this material.
You're looking at me when you say that, but...
It's okay if that's what you're
It's
doing.
okay.
It's all right, because as long as there are guys touching themselves to this material, I still have a job.
I see. Has the phone ever rang and you were offered a job that you had reservations about?
Well, once you start doing things like Playboy, your phone starts ringing from other companies, and one of those companies was Hustler.
I'm sorry. I've only looked at one or two Hustlers in my life.
I'm sure.
And I was like 12 years old, and that was quite shocking for a 12-year-old. But let me talk to you with my limited knowledge, I guess. Hustler, they don't have Playmates. They have what, Honeys? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's a Hustler Honey.
Were you offered the job of being a Hustler Honey?
Yeah, that's what they called me for. They offered me a spread as a Hustler Honey.
How much does that pay? 20, 30K?
You're a little bit off. It's a little lower than that. The pay was $700.
$700. $700 to sell your self-respect, basically.
Yes.
So you told Hustler, nope, don't want to do business with you.
Well, not exactly.
What?
I still did business with them. I just wasn't a Hustler Honey.
What kind of business did you do?
Well, I've done a couple things now, but I got started with them as a parts model.
I'll stop. What part?
Okay, it wasn't that bad. It was just my butt, just like butt cheeks. That's it.
Everyone loves a happy butt. They
Yeah.
really do. So
There's nothing wrong with that.
your butt was in an ad without even your face. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
How much did that pay?
That was $150.
75 a cheek. Okay.
75 a cheek, but I was there for like less than an hour. It was the
Okay.
easiest job of my life.
All right. Any other jobs for Hustler?
Well, I've done some personal appearances for them.
Give me one. What'd you do?
They're a really good company, so I feel bad mouthing them like this, but one of them was a pretty bad experience. They were a sponsor for this music awards show that VH1 does called The Golden Gods, and it's a heavy metal show,
All right.
which I love. I was in my bliss. I got to meet a lot of really cool rock gods.
Cool.
So I'm on the red carpet, and my job is just to be a pretty face on the red carpet,
Hang out with the rock stars.
posing with the celebrities and
Good.
stuff like that.
Cool.
So it was all good, except for the fact that there were some other models there, and one of the models was definitely out of her mind on some drug. I don't know what she was doing. She was a Hustler Honey, and she was all over Jerry Cantrell, which he was
Allison-
loving.
Allison Chains.
Alice in
guy?
Chains, yeah.
I gotcha.
He's loving it, and she's just kind of letting him know it's yours if you want it.
All right, let's go down the checklist here. Hustler Honey,
Mm-hmm.
on drugs,
Yes.
offering free sex to rock stars.
So that's 3 strikes and you're out, I think.
I can see on your face, not your favorite job. Tough day at the office, huh?
It was one of those days where I was just like watching the time tick by, and as soon as it was time for me to go, I was out of there.
You didn't even stay for the concert.
No, and it was a good concert too, but I had enough.
I see. Well, let's tie this together. Mandy, you're a model. Good experience or bad experience?
It's been a great experience. There are going to be days at the job, like any job, where it's not the best, but there are also going to be some really amazing days. I've got to travel the world, really amazing jobs in Paris, working with some really great people, and I feel truly blessed. I'm really excited for whatever's going to come next.
Cool. Well, let me say this. I love working with you. I love seeing you. I hope we'll have
Thank
an
you.
opportunity to work together again. And when I'm in LA, if you want to take me to a Playboy Mansion party, I would not be opposed to that.
All
Hint,
right.
hint.
I'll keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. Yeah. So as always, thanks for everything. And I wish you the best. Okay.
Thanks so much.
All right. Take care. Bye now.